So I'm about to do a podcast, and as I get ready to do that, I'm going to have the choice of 3 different performance enhancing plants that I can use to help make sure that I'm going to be at the top of my game. So right here, I have your standard cup of coffee blended with some nice fats and some mushrooms. We blended it with MCT oil, blended it with some butter. And what that's going to do, it's going to slow it down in the system. So instead of this fast spike and then potential crash, it's going to spread out the hormone load and make sure that it's sustained for a long period of time. Now, caffeine actually deadens some of the receptors that make you feel tired. And it also releases a lot of the adrenal hormones that give you energy. So it's kind of like hitting a turbo button and also calming down those other hormones that make you feel sleepy. So that's why everybody reaches for coffee when you have an overnight shift or you need some extra alertness. Plus, it's just delicious. So I'm gonna have a sip of coffee here for sure. And then of course, what we're known for here at Onnit, amongst other things, is alpha brain. And that's focused around one particular herb called Huperzia serrata. And Huperzia serrata is an acetylcholine esterase inhibitor, which is a crazy word, and I promised I'd keep things simple. So basically, acetylcholine is a neurotransmitter in the brain, and that neurotransmitter is responsible for mental clarity, focus, and memory. And what an acetylcholine esterase inhibitor does is it prevents the breakdown of acetylcholine in your brain so that you end up with a greater surplus because you're producing it all the time. Plus, it has some raw constituents of acetylcholine, including alpha GPC, and a bunch of other brain-stimulating nootropic nutrients that we put together in a formula, then tested it twice in double-blind randomized trials with the Boston Center for Memory, proving that it works over a 6-week regimen, as well as just the first time you take it, according to EEG and other brain scans. So this is something that, when I'm going to do a podcast, when I have to lock into some writing and do some work, I'm definitely going to reach for alpha brain. The last of these performance-enhancing plants is probably the most controversial and actually one of my favorite, and that is tobacco. And the thing with tobacco is the important thing is how you get it in your system. And under no circumstance should you get it in your system by smoking a cigarette. That is like the fastest way to kill yourself. It really damages the lung tissue, has a bunch of tar and other chemicals that you really don't want in your body. A much cleaner way to get it in the system is to use this Swedish form of tobacco pouches called snus. And it's very cleanly made tobacco, and it absorbs through your gums. And of course, there's some load that you put on your body with any type of tobacco, but it's a very clean application. It doesn't stay in your mouth all that long and really gives you that nice nicotine buzz that's been shown in multiple studies to increase focus, increase clarity. It's one of the reasons why it's one of the most popular drugs in the world. I think over 1 billion people engage in some form of nicotine use the world around. So I reach for this in certain occasions. I also like it to relax. So I'm not going to use that for this podcast today. I'm going to stick with a little alpha brain and a little coffee and a little spring water, and we're going to have a good chat. The other thing to remember with tobacco is that it can be highly addictive. So you got to make sure that you're driving the plant and the plant isn't driving you. And so quitting for regular periods is really important. And depending on the delivery method, if you're using snus, you obviously have to be careful of oral health and make sure that you're being mindful and not overdoing it. But done in moderation, it can be a really assistive, helpful plant. And really the same goes for coffee. You can get addicted to caffeine as well. So it's important to give your body breaks and just do the check, do the kind of preparation and do those small steps to make sure that you're not finding yourself in an addictive pattern and convincing yourself, oh yeah, I could quit coffee if I wanted to, but really, could you? I could stop nicotine if I really wanted to, but could you? You don't know until you try. So make sure you're in the driver's seat. That's important with any type of plant, even alpha brain. It doesn't have addictive qualities, but take a break. Don't take it every day. Relax, make sure that your body can resume homeostasis, and then use it as something to enhance you, not something to bring you up to just normal waking function. Because you don't want to put yourself in a deficit. These are performance enhancing plants, and the absence of them should not be dehancing. So enjoy the plants responsibly, and they'll be a big ally with you for the rest of your life.